Hey everyone, I have a little story to tell, a profound message from Spirit, and something I was shown. But first, have you ever heard the saying, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result, right? We've all heard of it. And I was shown last week that's what I've been doing for the past years, right? And in the form of trying to build my coaching practice up, trying to get clients, trying to get money, abundance, all the rest of it. I've been on social media so much, putting reels out and content, and on YouTube and you name it, right? And to me, I finally let go last week, and I just went, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. Like it just feels always such a trying energy and a struggle, and I just don't want to be on the platform, right? I'm not really a social media person at the best of times, but the fact that having to go on every day and think that that's where I've got to build a business from, right? Because that's what we're programmed to, like everyone's online. And did you see that light go in and out? And anyway, but I've been thinking that I have to keep going, because how else will I get clients and get myself out there for people to find me, to book me and things like that. So anyway, I just finally went, oh, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore, because it just doesn't align with me anymore going on social media for that reason. I might, put a post on or something funny or whatever, but just not for that reason. So anyway, so then my higher self said to me, oh, finally. And I'm like, finally what? And they said, and that's when my higher self said, you heard the saying, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, definition of insanity. And I'm like, oh my God, I have been doing the same thing over and over again and not getting any better results. So why am I doing it? Like, we do it, and if the results climb, if we get the results, well, then we shift it out and change it and, keep going and all the rest of it. But I've tried so many different things and nothing has really worked. So I just said, Spirit, I don't want to do this anymore this way. Anyway, and I kept getting, well, we've told you for a long time that you're meant to be writing. And in Kelly's head, she's like, oh yeah, but writing doesn't make me enough money, right? So I've completely, for years, ignored what my higher self is telling me, because my belief around writing is that you can't make a good living out of it, or it's not going to make you wealthy, or it doesn't make you, it's not going to bring in consistent money, whatever the story is, right? And so I started having this conversation with my higher self, and I realized that I've got this block that I never realized I had from my being a teenager. And what I was shown is I completely forgot about it. Like, I haven't forgotten about what happened, but I forgot to piece it together with this situation. So, and I'm sharing my story because one of you might have the same sort of thing happening, so with whatever you're trying to do. So I said to my higher self, I don't understand. Like, I know that my wisdom and knowledge, and I'm here to help people, so I don't get it, and what I was shown is that it's through my writing. Now, I remember back in 2018 when I made my digital online course to sell, Spirit told me to do it as a book. And what did Kelly do? She thought, well, a book's not going to make me money quick enough, so I'm going to do it as a digital course, and then I'll do it as a book later. So how did the digital course go? Well, it went okay. I sold some, but nothing major. So I'm like, well, that didn't work that well. And Spirit said, yeah, because you weren't meant to do it in a course. You were meant to do it in a book. And if you did it in the book would be out by now, because I was shown how to structure the book really differently to anything else that was out there, or a lot of what's out there. So anyway, 2 years ago, because mind you, while this is happening since 2018, Spirit has been keep reminding me about the book. So 2 years ago, I came back to the book and I started putting it all together. But I kept putting aside to go on social media and do content to try and get clients and all the rest of it, right? So it was this perpetuating cycle. And so last week, I'm just like, I'm done with this cycle. And my higher self said, thank God. Thank God you're done with this bloody cycle. So anyway, so I said, what is the go with this writing? And straight away I was shown. So I remember it. So when I was 15, I was sitting on the side of my bed and in my room. And I remember it was like it was yesterday. And I was having conversation with my higher self. And Spirit said, I was shown future things, right? And Spirit said that being a professional writer is part of your path. And the first thing I said, even at 15, right? I'm questioning Spirit. I said, but how am I going to make any money doing that? Because I came from an era where unless you were an exceptional creative artist or singer or, anything in the creative area, it was really hard to make money. That's what we were programmed to believe back then, like, in the 80s and like that era that it's 9 to 5, it's the hard slog, it's the struggle, it's the hustle, it's the da-da-da. So only people that were exceptional at their craft, like artists and painters, everything like that, and singers and musos and like did it for a living and quite successfully. And so I was like, oh yeah, but that's not going to make me money. And I remember back then being told, yes, it is. You are going. And I said, am I really going to make enough money out of that to be a professional writer? And they said, yes, you're going to make enough money out of that to be a professional writer. And at the time, I remember saying, I don't even like English. I hate English class. Like me, a writer. And I said, like maths class, I'm lining up at the door. Science class, I'm climbing in the windows, English class, I'm heading up the other way of the corridor. It's at high school. Like I'm not up for English at all. And so I said this at the time to Spirit, and I was shown that, yeah, but it's different because we write about what we want to write about, right? We go into our heart and our soul and we come from the passion of what we want. Whereas in school, we're thrown these books and said, like, read them. This is what we've got to do. And sometimes we're not particularly interested in it. Sometimes we are, but I wasn't. So anyway, getting back to that belief, that is a belief that I had in my head that I can't make money out of writing or enough money out of writing. And I don't want to just make enough money out of writing to be like, I want to be wealthy, right? Like I'm here to have full fucking abundance in my life. Like I'm going to the top. I'm not going to fiddle around down here with, let's get this in weekly and let's just pay the bills. No. So I'm not here for that. I'm a divine feminine here for full abundance. So when I say what I'm talking, Spirit knows what I'm talking about. When I'm talking about making money, I'm not talking about making a wage per week. I'm talking about making money, right? Money is a mechanics and a tool of this planet we need at the moment still to use, right? We've got to look at it as a tool and we've got to learn the mechanics of money, right? Which I've been doing more of. But we need it. So I'm like, I want a shit ton of it, So anyway, I was shown I had that block. I had the block still from when I was 15 and which had been programmed much earlier, all my growing up, because I'd been programmed that you can't make money as a writer, right? You can't make money as this and that unless you're amazingly good. And I never thought I was very good at writing. So even when I write different because I wouldn't say I'm dyslexic, but I am probably borderline and I write differently. I word things differently. I feel and see things differently. Okay. And that used to be a block to why I thought I'm not going to be able to be a successful writer. But then I was shown that, well, if everybody said that about Shakespeare because he wrote so different, like where would his stuff have been, right? So I realized that we have to get out of our head with the programming of everything, because the things that make the biggest change in the world is not the same thing that everyone's doing. It's things that someone's doing differently. Okay, so anyway, I was shown that I had this block, that I'm not good enough to make enough money out of my writing. Like, I'm not good enough at writing to make enough money out of it. And Spirit said to me, you need to let that go, and you need to let everyone else be like, well, not everyone else be the deciding factor of that, but just basically like, you put it out. You like, I cannot, that's my block, and I can't move forward just thinking that my work's not good enough. You know, no one's going to buy it, no one's going to read it. So I had to let go of a lot of stuff last week around this, and I wanted to share this message because you might not be here to be a writer, but whatever it is on your soul path, if it's not working, if you're not bringing in a lot of abundance, and you're not hugely, I say successful, but I don't necessarily mean in the terms of the 3D success, you know, narrative around that. I just mean as in fully abundant and aligned to your path, your soul, and your passion and your purpose. And you know what, you know, if it's not working for you and you're over here doing this, then try something different. Come back, step back, let go of it. Don't just keep doing the same thing every week, week after week, expecting a different result. And even if you're getting some results, but they're not where you want to be, it's not what you want to be. It's like, you know, maybe I'm getting an extra few clients or an extra few readings if you're a reader, or whatever it is you do. Is it just enough to sustain you? Because if it is, that's not flowing full abundance. Okay, so some of us, you know, Spirit said to me many years ago, just because you can do it doesn't mean you're meant to be here. No, it doesn't mean you're meant to do it, as in you're here to do it. When we tap into our gifts, so many things come online, so much wisdom, you know, of things that we've, you know, you hear people that have had past lives where they were successful at this or they were that, and that's carried forward to this life, and they can do that, but that doesn't mean they might be here to be that or do that in this life, right? So the message is, you never know where you've got those hidden blocks of what the programming has taught you growing up. Have you been programmed like me in the whole 9-to-5 hustle and can I make money on that way? Have you been programmed to think that you're not good enough to do what it is here that your soul's telling you here to do? And I know writing is part of my path, it's not my whole path, but every time I've asked Spirit over the last 5 years, like, why is this not going that well? Why do I keep getting writing books, writing books, writing. And every time I've said, yeah, I know you keep saying that, but that's not going to bring me money, right? And I just wouldn't listen to it. I just switched off, and because I had that programming, that old belief. So we have these subconscious beliefs that we don't even know about that are deeper again. And so every time something is not working for you or comes up like that, and I could have said to Spirit, okay, tell me more, but was I ready to listen? So we have to be ready to listen as well. Last week I was ready to listen. I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to do this anymore. Help. Like, I've got some other things going on, but there's, with this side of it, like, I just felt I had because I've trained coach and I've been doing that work, I guess I just felt that was a big part of my path to continue. But what I realize is that I'm doing it a different way. I'm doing it, putting it in books, whether it's ebooks, paper books, courses still, or however I'm putting it out. It's writing, and that is what it is for me. So I want you to ask yourself, what is it for you? Do you think you're alive? First of all, are you living your purpose? And second, are you in that arena, or anywhere in that type of spiritual awakened arena, coaching or reader or whatever, or out there, energetic healer, whatever you're doing? And are you trying to do it in a format that maybe is not working so well for you? and you need to change it. Because I also know I am an amazing healer, and I don't do a lot of healing sessions, but when I do, people transform like, whoa, and they're just amazed, like, oh my God. But I've always felt I'm meant to be a healer through running retreats and things like that. So just because you can do it doesn't mean you necessarily are doing it in the way or the format that your mind is telling you it should be done as well. Do you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so a bit long-winded. I'm going to go now, but I just wanted to share that message, and always think back now to have I got any blocks from being a teenager, my years, my childhood. There's always, we always know that there's blocks for something there that we've got to clear out, but we might not always think they're around a particular thing that we're trying to do in our life. So that being said, I'm not going to be on social media as much anymore, and I'll be around, but I am I'm just pulling back and moving into the arena of the writing. So, lesson for today. Okay, see you all. Bye.